Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be setting up my Hobonichi Cousin Avec for 2025. I do also have a reading journal. I'm not actually going to be setting it up in this video. That's probably going to be for my reading channel, which if you would like to see, I'll definitely put my reading channel on the screen. But I do have a reading journal that I'm going to be setting up soon, but not now. And then I also have my common planner. This is the B5 Compact, and this is going to be for my work planner. So that is what we're going to be doing in this video, and I am so ready to just get into it. So if you would like to see how I set up my Hobonichi Cousin in addition to my common planner, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so we're going to put all of these little miscellaneous pieces to the side. And the first thing I want to work on is my Hobonichi. I already have the cover or the clear cover on my July to December Hobonichi Cousin, and I don't plan on doing anything with it because I honestly really like this blue color that the Avec uses for the second half of the year. So I'm probably not going to do anything with this going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this to the side because this is not going to be updated in this video. So we have the Hobonichi Cousin. Now, I personally do not like that the first part of the year is this yellow color. It is not my favorite. I don't mind yellow, but it's definitely not a color that I typically gravitate toward. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is fixing the cover. And what I have done, and I do not know if this is going to work yet and how it's going to look, but I did go ahead. I had some, like, what is this called? This type of paper. The term is eluding me. But anyways, I had a roll of this type of paper that I went ahead and pre-cut to measure the size of my Hobonichi Cousin. Unfortunately, I have laid this flat for about like 9 hours today and it still hasn't done anything. So we're just going to deal with it right now. But what I'm going to be doing is I have this set to the size of the front minus, like, I'm not worrying about this part. So I'm going to first use I typically just use washi tape because that way I can remove it if I decide I don't like it. I'm going to be using washi tape to tape this down, and I have one for the front and I have one for the back, and we're going to do that first. I'm going to put them in like the four corners of my Hobonichi. Okay. And now I'm just going to lay this down like so. And we're going to do that for the front, and we're going to do the same thing for the back. I had one cut that I knew was a little crooked because my page cutter got off a little bit. So I specifically decided that I was going to use the one that was a little crooked for the back. So I don't know if you can see, but there is a slight edge that is not straight. But because it's on the back, I'm probably not going to see it because more than likely this is either going to be in a case or I'm going to have this side up. So it's not really going to make a difference. So, but I could, if it does end up bothering me, I could always recut because I have extra of this. I could always recut it and make it fit a little bit better. All right, so now that I have the it's not cardstock. I don't know why that word it's stuck in my head that it's cardstock, but it's really not. But anyways, now that I have that down, I have printed on vellum. I do have vellum that I bought off of Amazon, and so far I have really liked it. I've used it a couple of times now. I got this Paper Junkie vellum paper. It's 93 GSM. And I use this, it doesn't mess up or anything in my printer because I print pictures as draft. And what I ended up doing is I went on to Canva and I created a A5 sized paper. I did a search for aesthetic line images or covers, and I ended up finding this cover, which has like these line flowers, and then I added the 2025 in the middle, and then my planning channel's name. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting this to size and making this my cover. Cutting this down, and I'm just going to be using one of my pens that I have, and actually pretty much can just cut to the edge of this line, but on this side, because I think that's pretty even, I'm going to cut to right there, and then down at the bottom, I'm going to cut to right there. I do have my page or my cutter here, so I'm going to do this bottom part first. That is the page. It's still slightly off, I think. The 2025 is not exactly centered, but it is good enough. This, I like it. And then for this, I'm not going to use washi, one, because it is vellum, so you're going to be able to see through, but I do have this Tombow adhesive. I'm going to be doing just little teeny pieces in the corner because I am afraid it's going to show a little bit just because, you know, vellum is clear. So yeah, see, it has a little bit of dots that's going to show through. And so that's why I didn't want to do a lot of tape, just a little teeny tiny bit just to get it stuck to the cardstock, whatever, and pressing this down. And now I have my cover that is no longer yellow. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and get my clear cover so that way I can stop worrying about this bowing up. This is the Midori MD notebook cover for A5. This is what I use. Take this out, and we are going to go ahead and get this put in. So with the covers, if you're new to Hobonichi, if you are using any of these Midori covers, you do kind of have to, oh, it kind of ripped a little bit. Oh, well, it's the back. It's not going to bother me that much. You do have to kind of bend your cover page, the front page and the back page, in order to make it fit in here. So the first time I did this, I was very nervous that I was going to like rip it, I guess you could say. But it works just perfect. And that is my cover, and I like it so much better than the yellow. So now we have my cover on my Hobonichi. Now, I'm really quickly going to jump to my work planner, and I'll explain in just a minute. So I'm going to put this over to the side, and we'll come back to this in just a little bit, but I want to do something else first before I potentially mess up my Hobonichi. So I would much rather mess up my work planner than my Hobonichi. So we're going to come back to this in just a minute. I'm using the B5 Common Planner for my work planner. And the reason why I am jumping from the Hobonichi to the Common Planner is I plan on using, wherever I put them, here they are, these index tabs, like the monthly tabs. And I've never used these before. These come from Midori. And I want to test them out first on here before I put them on my Hobonichi. So that is why I wanted to jump to this one first. So I have never used these before. And the reason why I got these is they are very small, and because I had originally, back in 2023, I had used the Coffee Monsters Co. tabs in my full year Hobonichi, and I liked them. I'm not going to say anything negative about them. I did like them. However, the problem that I had was they were much thicker, like they stuck out farther out of the side of my page, and they kept getting caught and kind of ripping. And so I did not want to use them in 2024 because I didn't like how far they stuck out on my page. I know you could push them in the paper, and I know there's ways around it, but I just didn't want to deal with that again. So instead, I got these Midori ones because they are very small and they come in 2 sets. So I plan on having one of these sets, one of, this little row here is going to be for my work. And then if all goes well, this part is going to be for my Hobonichi. So we are going to test it out. And for the common planner, the way this is set up is you have all of the months up front, and then it goes to the week afterwards. So where I'm going to be putting the tabs is on the first page of that month, respectively. So this is going to be on tab 1, and then we'll go to this one. It's going to be tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to make sure that these stuck out appropriately, or something that wasn't going to be too annoying for me before I started to put them in my Hobonichi Cousin. So we're going to attempt to do this now, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, then the Hobonichi is not getting tabs. So we're going to use these, and just like the Coffee Monsters Co., it does have like the little line right here underneath the one where that's like where you're supposed to stick it out. So you kind of just line it up to the edge of the paper and then kind of just stick it down. And this is literally the worst part of this whole setup process, is trying to put these tabs down to where they're like straight. So what I want to do is I'm going to put them down like this first, and then I'll fold them over after I get all 12 down, and hopefully they'll look okay. Luckily, it seems like you can adjust them, like you can pick them up and put them back down again pretty easily. So last one is down, and I think they're pretty even. So let's jump to this first one, and it does have the little fold mark, and then you just fold it like that, and that is how much it sticks out, which I really like. So let's go ahead and fold these down, and then we're going to see what it looks like at the end. And I think I'm going to like it. I think this is going to be something I would like in my Hobonichi. This is all of the tabs, and I do like how minimal they are. I did end up putting them all kind of at the top, just to kind of, because that's where the like colorful indicator mark was, which I think is gonna be fine. I don't really need them to be super spaced out. I like it. This works. So we're going to be using these in my Hobonichi, but while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this piece because I don't really have a whole lot more that I wanted to put into my work planner. What I plan on doing, just if you're interested, if you do work full-time and you're looking for a planner for like notes and appointments, like keeping track of all your appointments and like your to-do list and all that kind of stuff. Currently, I have 2 separate books that I use for my work. I have a planner that I just got from Target that you could see in my 2024 planner video. And then I have a spiral notebook for all of my notes. And so anytime I'm having to like try to figure out what happened on a particular day, I have to have both so I can have my notes in my notebook and my planner stuff in my planner. So instead, I'm using the common planner to do everything for me. And with it being the B5 size, I think it's going to work really well. So what I plan on doing though is we're going to just really quickly set up this. And like I said, there's really not a whole lot I need to do. So first page, I'm not going to do anything. This goal breakdown, I'm really not going to do anything because I don't have any goals that I need to put down for work other than doing my job and trying to do it as well as I can. So I don't really have any goals I need to use. This tracker, I might end up using as like a leave, like when I'm planning on taking all of my leave, maybe. But right now, I don't know if that's what I'm going to be doing on this yearly tracker page. So I'm going to be leaving it blank. These quarterly sections, I will be filling it out once I get into 2025. So that way I can put down like I have set like seasons of when things occur. I don't really have any firm dates. So this would be filled out as I get into 2025, but that's what I'm going to be doing for this like quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 pages. But the first thing I am going to do is I do have a printout of all of the 2025 federal holidays because I do work for the government. And so I do want to put down the federal holidays, and I'm going to put them in the monthly page. And then I also have the school calendar for my kids, so I can annotate all of like their spring break, their fall break, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing really quick. And then for the pen that I'm going to be using in my common planner, the thought was there's a lot of things that kind of will be planned, but then it will be rescheduled or things will change. And I don't personally like crossing out things that don't happen. So instead, and because work is so fluid, I am going to be using the Pilot Friction pen. The reason why I'm using this is they are erasable. It is kind of like a heat, like the friction of erasing makes the ink disappear. I do have the original Friction clicker in 05 in black, and then I do have the Friction Synergy clicker in 05 in black. Really don't know any difference between the two. I think this one is supposed to be a little bit blacker than this one is, but honestly, they're so like small regarding like the brightness of the ink. I don't really notice a difference. So, but these are the two types of pens that I will be using in here. So that way, if there's anything that happens that I need to erase, I can do that. So we're going to be using, I think I'm just going to be using the regular Friction, and I'm going to go ahead and write in all of those holidays. And we're just going to speed through this process. Might have used up this pen and I didn't even know it. Unfortunately, I can't really see how much ink I have left. I should have enough ink. I don't know why it's not wanting to work. All right, well, we're just gonna get rid of this pen. And I guess we're switching to the Synergy. So apparently my school district loves having half-day school days. I don't understand it, but whatever. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about doing January of 2026 because more than likely that's going to be in my 2026 planner. But that is going to be it for my common planner, just for awareness. Like if you are interested in how I'm going to be using this planner for my work. So essentially what I'll be doing is this monthly section will be where I'll put down anytime, I'm out of the office, my team is on leave, my team has a birthday or something like that. So this is going to be kind of just a very high level what's going on for that month regarding like leave and birthdays. Essentially, I'm not really going to have any meetings or anything on my monthly calendar. But on the weekly pages, what I plan on doing is there is this like dot that separates each of the like little sections. So you have like quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's like a dot right here. So essentially what my thought was is at the beginning of every week, I'm going to be using a ruler and kind of drawing a line going down the page to separate the one side, like this part right here, will be me listing out all of my meetings that I have. And then this side is going to be like the to-do list, like the things that I need to take care of for that respective day. And that's how I'm going to break it up because that's kind of how my current planner is set up anyways. I have on each page, there's a column that's for that day's appointments and then a column that doesn't really say to-do list, but it's got like little circle designators to it. So that way you can like check it off once you do that task. So meetings is going to be on the left side, and then to-do list is going to be on the right side of this page. And then this side is going to be all of my like notes for all of the meetings that happened during that week. So I have this full page that I'll be using. And then the way that I kind of do is I'll have like the name of that meeting and I'll like underline it, and then I'll put like little bullets or something to separate like all of the high points of that meeting. And then that'll be meeting number 1. And then I'll have like a blank space, and then I'll have meeting number 2, all the bullets, blank space, separating that meeting from whatever meeting I have. So that's kind of the layout that I'll be using. If for whatever reason this page is not enough to capture all of this, all of like the meetings and stuff that happened for that week, that's when I'm going to be flipping to the notes section. So the Common Planner has blank pages and they are numbered. So I'll be able to reference like page number 1, page number 2. So if for whatever reason I fill up this one page and I still need to take more notes, at the very bottom, I'll say see page 1, and then that'll be the continuation of whatever's on here. I don't foresee that happening, honestly, very often, because there's only certain times where I've needed to take a lot of notes. Usually if I have to take a lot of notes, I do it through like email because it's something that I need to let my team know, and that's like an ongoing like task list. So I don't think that's going to happen very often, but if it does, that's kind of how I was planning on using this. So that is the setup for this. And now we're just going to jump over to the Hobonichi again, because I have my work planner pretty much done for 2025. Okay, so now we are going to jump in to the Hobonichi. So we're going to kind of talk through what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be using my Hobonichi this year. So let's flip through and talk about it. So this 2025 like year at a glance, I've never used. Again, I don't really care for what happened last year, and I don't really care for this whole page. I never use it. So this will not be used going forward. And for this page, I plan on setting this up just like I do 2024. Essentially what I do is this top section, I'll have a header that says the number of books that I read, the number of pages that I read, and then I'll also put down my subscriber count, like the increase, how many subscribers I have either increased or decreased for that month for this channel, the planning channel, and then I also do the same thing for my reading channel. So this is kind of just an overview of what happened for my reading, and then also with my subscribers from YouTube. And then in the actual middle section is I will, in my daily pages, I'll use that as a daily journal. And if there's anything that happens on that respective day, say on January the 1st, if I end up writing in my journal, something that I think was important or something that I think I'm going to go back to later to refer back to, I will kind of put down a very high level topic of what that journal entry is about. So for instance, January the 1st is New Year's. So if I go to a New Year's party, or if something happens on New Year's, I'll put down attended New Year's party. And so that way I'll know if there's anything written in that respective day is something that I think is important. I've done that for like if there's car maintenance, birthdays, first days of school, last days of school, homecoming, basically anything that I think I might want to refer back to later. That's what I'll put down on here. And then I also will use a dot marker. And if I end up taking pictures on any particular day and putting it in my daily page, I will flag that date with a dot to let me know that there's a picture associated on that page. That is how I use this spread. This little box down below, in 2024, I didn't use it for literally anything. And I don't really know what I want to do down here in this section in 2025 either. I'm thinking, honestly, maybe I'll put down like my 5-star reads, because I do read a lot of books. If I have any like 5-star books that I read for that month, I might end up using that down here. That's what I'm thinking. So that is kind of the overview of this page, and I'm really not going to be doing anything with it because I don't have anything to really write in it until I get into January. And then this page I really don't use because this page is going to be in this book. So this will be blank. I don't really have anything planned for putting anything on this page. And then this is the start of all of the months, and I don't really have anything to do with this right now. I will be doing like monthly setup videos, so you'll be able to see me set up each month and, you know, what stickers I'm using, what themes I'm using, all that kind of stuff. So I don't really need to do anything in this book for right now in the monthly pages. And then if we flip to the weekly pages, I again don't really have anything that I need to set up because I do weekly plan with me's, and I'll be setting these up on those weekly plan with me's. So don't really have anything I need to set up on here. But when we flip to the daily pages, I do have things to do. So I am going to, because I did really like the way these looked in my work planner, I am going to go ahead and use the January through June in this book. So we're going to do that now. And as you can see, January is like this orangish color, but January on here is like a gray. I don't even know if you can see. They're essentially all gray tones. So if that's going to bug you, just be aware. Midori has the colorful version, and maybe they will coincide with the Hobonichi. I have no idea. Like I said, I do really like how easy these are to peel up. They're not like permanent as soon as you lay them down, which is amazing. And again, I'm just going to put them where the next month starts. So they're going to be fairly close together, but I don't really care. So that is them. I like it. And we're going to fold these over. All right. So, oh, I like that. So nice. So if you can see, I got the tabs, but they don't stick out further than the like clear cover as it is anyway. So I don't really have to worry about if I throw this in my like book bag and I'm going to go into work. If I throw this in my book bag, I don't really have to worry about these that are going to be sticking out so far and potentially catching. It's going to be so much nicer. So really, 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 really like these like small tabs, and they're just big enough that I can easily flip to that respective month, but it's not so massive to where it's going to be sticking out too far. So love these so far. I am not going to put these in my next book, the July to December, because if something happens in this month or this half of the year and I end up not liking these, I want to be able to not put them in this book. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these like in this front cover. So I have them if I need them, but if not, no harm, no foul. That's another reason why I really do like the Avec, because I kind of get a do-over essentially. So I can set this up the way that I think is going to be very beneficial for me going into 2025. But if there's anything that just doesn't work out, I know I can have a brand new planner in July and I can start fresh. So something that might not work in here, I don't have to worry about in this book. Or if there's something that I really wish I would have done here, but I didn't think about it until the very end of like May, I can include it in this book. So that's one of the big reasons I like the Avec, because I get to essentially start fresh in July with a brand new planner. And looking at the other stuff that I went ahead and bought for 2025, I do have this habit tracker, and what I plan on doing, I'm not going to put them down now, but essentially what I plan on doing is using these and putting them over on like my sidebar of my monthly spread. And this is going to be kind of a no spend. I'm not going to be using these now, but I will be using them on my sidebar. So that is something that you're going to be able to see during my like monthly plan with me's. So these are going to go in my sticker drawer, and I'll be using these when I start setting up my January monthly spread. These I will end up using. So the way that I plan on using these is, again, they are very like minimal out of the side of your book. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a clip and it's going to be for the current month. So I have these flagged as the month, the respective month that I'm in on the daily pages, but I do want to have a little flag, and I'm hoping these are not going to be too harsh on this very thin paper. So I'm going to have a little flag for the month that I'm currently in, so that way I can easily flip back to it. And I might end up, because this covers, I don't really think it's going to make a big deal, but I could also put them down at the bottom. I do like to have thumb tabs, but I'll put them over here for right now. But I am going to have one of these clips for the month that I'm currently in. And then I'm also going to have a clip for the week that I'm currently on as well. And honestly, I think I am going to put these down at the bottom, because if I put them right here, it's going to block the Sunday. But down here, it's like at 4 a.m. I'm not really going to be doing anything at 4 a.m. So I'm going to put this down at the bottom. Let me take this off. So I'll have side tabs for my daily pages. I have bottom tabs for the month and then the week that I'm on, and then potentially a bottom tab for the day that I'm on for the daily page. Not quite sure though, but I do really like having the tabs that I can easily flip to and say this is for the month of January, and then this is the week that I'm in, so I can easily get to where I need to be. And again, they are essentially basically flush with the clear cover, so they don't stick out on here either to potentially rip the page, which is amazing. That's going to be my tabs. And then I do also have this Midori like weather sticker kit, and I might end up using this in some of my spreads, like my weekly spreads or my daily spreads, just to kind of highlight what the weather was on that respective day. This was a impulse buy, and I don't know if I'm actually going to be using it. So I do have these two. I'm going to put these in my sticker box because I don't obviously need them until 2025. I am going to go ahead, and now that I have the index tabs out, I'm going to do the same thing with these tabs for my work planner. So I'm going to have one for the month that I'm currently in, and then one for the week that I'm currently in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the January month. I'm just going to put them on the bottom. Maybe I'll put one down here for when the blank notes start. So maybe I'll just do that, knowing hopefully I'm not going to be turning to this page very often. So that way we'll have the little tabs here as well. So we'll have month that I'm on, the week that I'm on, and then this is the start of the notes pages, which I might end up moving over just to make them a little bit even, but that's okay. And then we have the little weekly tabs for the work planner. And then I don't really know if I'm going to get a cover for this, because this is essentially just something that's going to sit at my work desk or potentially go to my office, which actually I might end up moving. I'm going to move these to the top, because since this does not have a clear cover on it, these actually stick out. And if I put this in my book bag, I'm probably going to put it down like this, which means that this is going to be on the bottom. And so I don't want it to like potentially rip. So maybe these will be tabs at the top. So that way I still have the tab, but it's not going to be anything that I have to worry about being damaged. I think that's going to work much better. Yeah, I like that better. So we have the tabs at the top, we have the tabs at the side, and work planner is done. And then I'm just going to put these remaining 3 tabs with all of my other planner supplies. All right, so we have work planner done. We have personal planner done. The last planner that I have, that again, I'm really not going to do a lot with right now, but I did end up getting the Yop and Tom dotted notebook. This is supposed to be extra thick, 160 GSM paper, and it's got 160 numbered pages. And this is going to be for my reading journal. I actually want to get back to potentially bullet journaling my reading stuff. So I will be using this. Again, I'll be setting this up in my on my reading channel. So if you would like to see how I set up my reading journal, then definitely make sure you check out my Heidi's Reading YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see, probably in Bookmas, I'll have a video dedicated to setting this up. So definitely make sure you check out that channel if you would be interested. And with that, thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I so greatly appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you'll be notified whenever I have upcoming videos. And if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Drop me a comment down below and let's do a firework emoji, because everyone is super excited. Can't wait for January, so that way we can jump into our 2025 planners. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see everybody in my next video. Bye!